All right, there it is. That is the sound of the banjos, which means it's time to get serious about some PGA DFS. I'm going to tell you, I'm here to really focus on PGA DFS. I know a lot. I've been getting messages about why don't you focus more on the betting aspect, dude. There's like a million PGA betting tout sites out there. Go watch their shows. They do a great job. You know, you can go chase the number with them. Hopefully, I can give you a little bit of information that would help you with betting. But this is about PGA DFS, getting you ready for the next 4 days. For both kicking the nuts week long, and I'll probably share a little bit of Showdown, because that's what the big guy was founded on. What's up, new guy? My name's James, better known as. You can see right below me. Go give me a follow on Twitter, Degenerate75. Been doing this for a hot minute, trying to get you ready for everything you need for PGA DFS. We, of course, have Pebble Beach this week, which is a signature event, which I hate that name. It's so stupid, which basically means they're going to give out more money, which is stupid, and cut the field down. So we don't have a cut this week, but we do get a lot of the stars, so we will take it. We will not bitch too much about it. All my football guys who realize that there's no football this weekend because we're in between the championship games and the Super Bowl, welcome. Glad to have you here. Glad you're dipping your toe in the PGA DFS streets. In another week, you won't even have any football at all, so you might as well just get in here and get warm with us in the PGA DFS streets, because it's fun. Do me a favor, go like and subscribe. It really helps. We're almost to 10,000 here at Ship It Nation. Just click right below. If it doesn't say you're subscribed, subscribe, donkey dick. Don't be that guy. And don't forget to hit the like all the way throughout if we get enough likes and we get a positive comment section over here, which, by the way, I'm going to go bring up on my other screen because I'm such a secret dude. We will, we'll be giving away some tickets. I'll, of course, give away the one from Twitter. So there you go. Let's get going. Not going to keep this show too long. The big guy only has so much energy, and I like to give it to y'all and get you everything you know. So let's shut the fuck up and let's get going. Already dropping F-bombs. Not good. All right, new guy, here you go. And you're probably from football, so I'm going to ask you a simple question. Have you made your lineups yet? I know you have. And look, this is how I know, because just fucking shocking that the main contest for DraftKings, 15 hours and 30 minutes before lock, is already full. The big $20 already full. You're like, I see the pitch and punch right there on your screen, DGen. Well, that's the secondary, and it's already over halfway full. So not only have they already filled the big one, the second one is already full. Or already halfway full, excuse me. They just don't know how to price a contest if it slapped them in their stupid fucking face. I don't know why they do this. This could have easily been a week where they do 800, 900, maybe even 1 million in the main pitch and putt, but they're like, no. Let's not do that and not give people what they want. So, kudos to them. A lot of good contests this week, though. The $200 single entry, which I'm always a fan of if you're a medium to higher level player. Always great. They got the $111 back out there, this 10 max. Actually, it's an 11 max. It's really good. Flat payout structure. Don't mind it. I can't show a lot of you guys the ones that, if you're on a budget, this $10 18 max can be really good. Then you're not giving up any equity. Of course, the big $5 is already full, so they already have a secondary $5. They just don't get it. The drive the green, it looks pretty good. But here's what I tell you, man. I would go reserve my shit right now, because if this stuff is already, filling, people are already reserving 15 and a half hours before, you're going to get stuck in some shitty contests. And rule number one of being a sustainable player here at PGA DFS is you got to get in these better contests, right? And honestly, for some of you, this might be a blessing, because it's going to end up making you get into smaller contests. And those smaller contests, yes, there are smaller prizes up top, but they tend to be more well-structured throughout. And let's face it, if you win $100,000, you'd be dancing out in the streets naked. And if you win $10,000, your ass is going to be out in the middle of the streets dancing naked. So just be happy that they're putting secondaries up. I think the lesson here is, until DraftKings pulls their heads out of their asses on how popular some of these contests are, you're just going to have to get in the habit of reserving what contests you want. Fortunately, these secondaries actually have better structure, so I think you might end up doing better today playing in some of these secondaries. The $33 single entry, $6 tee to green. They got a $12, $5 single entry that are both pretty solid. But I'd go hit that reserve button right now, because PGA DFS is going to be very popular this year. We're already seeing it with nobody to play football this weekend. It's going to be popular. There you go. That is contest selection, which is so important and people take it for granted. But what's even more important than contest selection? What is it, new guy in the back? All right, I'll give it to you. Weather, that's right. We're looking, more for wind. They're playing in Pebble Beach, which is way the hell up Northern California. I don't think it's quite all the way to San Francisco. It's a little south of there. Who cares? Fucking hippies. Oh, man, I'm dropping the cuss bombs tonight. I need to watch out. All right, here we go. You want to know the long story about weather? It doesn't look very exciting, right? Both Thursday and Friday look pretty subdued. Eric Cole Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which we tend to only follow whenever we're not playing in the contiguous United States. They have a little something popping up Friday. So here's what I'm definitely going to be doing. Because of the late tee times tomorrow, because they're obviously playing out on the West Coast and they're not playing a full day. Yeah, it is going to be cold. Thank you, Gangrene. It will be cold to make up for no wins. Talk more about that in just a second. Here's what I can tell you. I will be checking the weather tomorrow morning to make sure, because if it is going to get a little spicy on Friday, which Eric Cole and Nam have said there could be a little something that pops up on Friday, I think that makes a difference, right? Because these two courses, they're playing two courses if you don't know. Of course, they're playing Pebble Beach, and then one of the rounds, because it's a Pro-Am, they're going to be playing, what is it? Is it Monterey Peninsula, I believe? Or is it the other one? Spyglass. It's one of those two. But the point is that Pebble Beach, I definitely want my guys on the easier day. So just a slight tiebreaker. If they do show, like if I wake up in the morning and I see that there's going to be something cooking on Friday, and by cooking, I mean cold and windy, then I am going to try to get my guys, my Pebble Beach guys, playing their round over there on Thursday. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I would be up in the morning. I would be checking this, because you want your guys easier round on Pebble Beach, I promise you, because Pebble Beach's only real protection is the wind off of the coast, right? So if if you can avoid that to the best of your ability, I think that's going to be very advantageous for you, right? So be up in the morning, check it, because if it looks like it's going to be spicy Friday, you want your guys playing Pebble Beach Thursday. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, this is a lot like we had last week, but I think it's more clear where you want your guys playing. All right, if there's no wind, if it looks like that stuff Friday dies down, I think you just kind of play the guys you want to play. I will tell you, this year, I think that Pebble Beach is going to play a little bit tougher. I think that they've done some work to it. I think that between the coldness, the little bit of breeze we're going to get, I think it's going to play a little bit tougher, because a lot of times it's just a hit and giggle, right? I mean, literally, like, it wouldn't be crazy. I think Wyndham Clark shot, 8 under a couple times last year and ended up winning this, right? There we go. It's Spyglass is the one. Thanks, guys, in the chat. And you can see Spyglass sits a little bit off of the coast. So Pebble Beach sits right on the coast. So that's why I'd be watching that wind. So long story short, Spyglass is the course that I want them on the quote-unquote harder day, if there's going to be that. But we're not. I would be checking that all the way up till the morning, because these newest forecasts are just now showing that HRRR hasn't picked up on it. But Eric Cole Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they got Friday looking a little spicy. So we're definitely going to be checking that out in the morning, right? So as far as weather goes, that's what I got for you. They're going to be going off 1 and 10 at the same time, so almost all the players are going to be out there in a 2-hour window. So it's not like you're going to be able to catch an AM, PM traditional edge, right? If you're going to catch an edge this week, it's going to be playing the guys on Pebble Beach on the quote-unquote easier day, which I think is almost certainly going to be Thursday. But we'll have to see. We also got to watch those temperatures, because Thursday looks colder than a witch's tit, and there's Friday, which looks a good 7-8 degrees warmer across the board. So if that's going to be the case, maybe that's something to consider, because you want to play. Just looking at the last few years, 60 degrees seems to be the threshold for good scoring, and it doesn't look like they're going to get 60 degrees either day. So there you go. That is weather, right? So we're through contest selection. We're through weather. Let's get over to the third most important thing. What do we call it? Oh, yeah, we call this ownership, right? Because if you don't know, we're going to have plenty of donkey chalk this week. Whenever there's no cuts, people tend to do this. They tend to go with their warm Care Bear blankets up top, right? What do I mean by that? They're guys that make him feel safe. Oh, Justin Thomas, he's so warm and safe. He's playing so good. He plays good this course. Oh, give me some Patrick Cantlay in his neck beard. And then what they like to do is they like to punt, take a risk down below. Why do they do that? Well, it's pretty simple, because they know that everybody's guaranteed 4 rounds. So why not go take some chances down low? So you're going to see some guys down low who are going to get more ownership this week, simply just because they know one thing. What's the one thing? That you're going to get 4 rounds. And so people are going to play that. And so even with the fact that his hand is cut open and we haven't seen him all year, it appears as though people are going to play Scotty Scheffler, right? We just know that he's still the best player in the world. Last time we saw him, he was still kicking ass, and they have him priced almost appropriately. I'd like to see him more in those in the 12K range, but 11.9 is pretty close, right? At least DraftKings is trying with this pricing, right? Now, what is crazy is Scotty Scheffler, even at the 11.9, that Best Buy pricing right below 12,000, is still going to get, I think, over 30% 30%, which is insane for a guy coming back. And we still have questions about his hand, right? If you guys don't know, if you've been living in the woods, all you football players, Scotty Scheffler's already withdrawn from 2 different tournaments simply because of a cut to his hand, which, when you're a golfer, it's one of the worst places to have an injury. But I don't really give a shit. As far as Scotty Scheffler goes, when you get above 30%, sir, you're giving me no choice. You, sir, are
the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk.
Guy in the back, I don't care how good he is. All right, I don't care how good he is. You gotta be consistent. See, 167 likes, 343 people. That means basically half of you aren't hitting the likes. Hit the like, dickhead. All right, moving on. Cullimore Flower. This course just seems made for him, right? This is a short positional course, and basically, everything about this that you would think fits Morikawa's game, well, it kind of does. And he is coming in at a 25% projected ownership. It's Colin Morikawa. There's so many guys that are around him that are less than 20 that you could easily pivot to that it makes him, by definition,
the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk.
He is. Next up, Justin Thomas, another Care Bear blanket guy. I just have a feeling that him and Morikawa are just going to be off the charts popular this week. I think a lot of people are going to want to start their lineups with Morikawa Thomas. And when you do that, I think that what we're going to find is ownership is going to be dictated by how people build their lineups this week and not simply by the players that they like, right? People are going to say, ooh, I like this starting with Morikawa and Thomas. Gives me 2 chances to win, as opposed to, oh, I'm starting with Morikawa and Thomas because they both feel safe, right? That's a different logic in why people are building it. Regardless, Justin Thomas coming in at 25%. You, sir, are leaving me no chance. You are the definition of
the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk.
Some bad donkey chalk out there, guys. A lot of donkey chalk out there, okay. All right, moving on. The people that are being donkey chalk this week are just disgusting. Apparently, the PGA DFS community loves a guy that can't grow a full beard, and also, I'm pretty sure a serial killer. And his name is Patrick Cantlay. He is the last guy coming in. He's in that $9,000 range, and there are 3 guys in the $9,000 range we have under 15%. So just based off of his peers and everybody he's around, I'm sorry, your ownership, Cantlay, makes you the definition of
the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk.
All right, these next few, you're all on the, these next few right here. Decky, Day, Iceberg. I think that these guys, a lot of their ownership is actually somewhat reasonable, but a little too high, but they're not high enough to be donkey chalk. So we are going to give them, watch it. They could get a little higher than you want, but we're just going to give them, they're a little high. They're a little high. We don't want them too high, but I think that you can get away with playing those guys, as you'll see here in a minute with Steam and Moonwalk. I even think some of them are going to be lower than we have them currently projected because people are going to watch this show and they're going to make adjustments to their player pool and who they want to play this week. So be careful with those 3. They could be going up or down. I'll give you a little bit more information in just a minute. I think that Sungjae, Rory, I think both of these guys, honestly, they're not even chalk, right? Like, this is just a misunderstanding. Oh, they're 14%, that's chalky. No, a lot of that ownership is simply just because of where they're priced. I mean, if you think Rory at 14% is chalky, I think you're just not paying attention. I think both Sungjae and Rory fit the definition of they're just okay, all right? They're okay. And I think that, I think that the little bit of ownership they got is simply just where they're priced. I actually think they're pretty good pivots, and they are not even what I would consider chalk, right? When you're over 9,000 and under 15%, that typically is not chalk. That's just people in this industry not understanding the fucking term chalk. Watch your mouth, big guy. All right, yes, and as Dollar Bill in the chat points out here, Rory is still a fucking loser. Can confirm. Guy in the back, we agree? Yep, he's all over. You're getting fed tonight, big guy. I think Taylor Pendrith is getting a little high. People love some Taylor Pendrith, and he is a guy that is on Donkey Watch, but until I see it, I'm just going to give him, you're a little high. And I will warn you, there are all kinds of guys down in the 7 and 6Ks that are getting above that 10% threshold, right? We're talking Denny McCarthy, Lee Hodges, Old Cheesesteak Hoagie, plenty of guys down there. So watch them. And here's just a good rule. If you're above like 7% in the 6Ks or above 10% in the 6K or in the 7Ks, you are always going to get this. And you, sir, are going to be
the man's donkey chalk. And we don't play donkey chalk.
I'm sorry, we don't do it. We don't do it, guys. All right, there you go. That is a breakdown of your ownership. But remember, if people are moving up and down in ownership, well, then we got some guys that are going to steam up tonight. Some people are going to get talked up last minute. Some people are going to say, oh, shit, I can get him at that percentage. I'm going to play him at 14%. You log in tomorrow, he's 22%, right? That's your steam guys. Then you have your guys that are going to moonwalk, where people are going to be like, I ain't playing no 30% Scotty Scheffler whenever his hand is hurt, right? So these are some guys that we are predicting over here at Ship It that we think will steam up or moonwalk tonight, okay, based on their ownership. So let's get going. First up, we got, Colin Morikawa. I can feel it in me loins, boy. Colin Morikawa and Justin Thomas, I think, are both going to get steamed up tonight. They're just Care Bear blankets, right? You feel like worst case scenario, these guys are going to get you a top 10, and they both offer a chance to win, and you're getting almost $2,000 off of Scotty Scheffler. Colin Morikawa, you're going to log in tomorrow, and he is going to be higher than you want him to be. He is going to steam up tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it. Also, Sungjae, we have him pretty low right now, right? He was just on there at 14%. I said that's not even chalk. But this is a course. We don't, like, if you go look at the Stone or the DGens Players Scorecard and notes, you will see Sungjae M is a guy that you want to play at these shorter positional courses. These are the courses he tends to do the well. He's tend to have the best results at. I think Sungjae is a guy that people are going to be like, I am not letting Sungjae get by at just 14% at that price tag, because $9,000 is a very fair price tag. So I think we're going to see old Sungjae M steam up tonight, you mother father. And lastly, Jason Day. This is the one I feel very confident about. Early in the week, I heard everybody saying Jason Day. He has immaculate course history. This course is fit for him. He's been playing a lot. He's been playing great. He doesn't look like an 87-year-old man out there, other than his horrific dress outfits that he's wearing. So I think you're going to see Jason Day. If he comes in at 20% tomorrow, will not surprise me at all. I feel very confident he is going to steam up tonight. If we got people steaming up, well, then that mathematically means one thing, certainly. Some people are going to moonwalk backwards. It simply means that their ownership is not going to come in as high as we are anticipating. Some guys that I think are going to come in a little bit lower than we think. First of all, Hideki. This is the fourth week in a row we've seen Hideki. He won once, and he's played, slightly above average the other 2 weeks. But at 9,600, I think people are a little worried about Hideki continuing. This is a great course. I like Hideki at these short, medium courses, but Hideki playing 4 weeks in a row. If you've done this as long as I have, you're always on Hideki withdrawal. Like we're like battered wives, and we've seen what Hideki can do. And am I worried he might withdraw or do some stupid shit or not be motivated or whatever? Yes, I am. I think we will see him moonwalk backwards. All right, moving on. Wyndham Clark, a last year's champion. But remember, I think a lot of people, when they go back and look, they will remember that he only won through 54 holes. They did not play the final round last year. So even though Wyndham Clark won last year, it basically was a wedge fest and putting. And let's face it, when it comes to all the elite players, Wyndham Clark is the best with a wedge and a putter in, right? He does those two things extremely well. And he, caught the perfect weather and ended up winning the event. I don't think that people are going to give him true credit for the victory last year. And because of that, I think that you're going to see people kind of get off of him, and we are going to see his ownership moonwalk backwards. Lastly, old Cheesesteak Hoagie. And this one, people love Cheesesteak Hoagie at this course. Look, let's just admit it. People just love Cheesesteak Hoagie in general, right? Why do I think that he might moonwalk a little bit backwards? Well, it's simple. It's this. There's just too many guys down there that I see getting these random steams, right? As I already told you about Denny McCarthy, Lee Hodges, guys like that, Mark Hubbard, I think. And as that happens, I think you're going to see Hoagie, who we actually have pretty high projected right now, in the double digits. I think you're going to see kind of come back to earth. And so because of that, he is going to moonwalk backwards. So there you go. Those are some guys that I am projecting are going to steam and moonwalk. Hey, let me tell you about something. I'm so proud of this fucking thing right here. Sorry. We're getting a lot of cusses in tonight. Uh-oh. Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. Got fat fingers. What do you want from me? What do you want from me, all right? I know what you want from me. All right. This is called DGens Notes, right? Like we have the scorecard, which breaks down the top 200 players. We're going to be adding even more. And then I go through and I've added notes. For all you new guys, I've been showing this off every week. Took effing forever to make this, so I'm going to show it off. And I had about 4 people reach out to me through DMs last week and say, I only played Harris English because of your DGens Notes, right? And so what you do is you simply come on here. This is part of our package over at Ship It Nation. I went and made this for everybody. You click on Harris English. I'm like, I wonder what I wrote for old Rope Hat, because he wore Rope Hat for all those years, right? And on old Rope Hat, it says strong on hard courses. Well, the course was very hard last week. Strong on long courses. Well, Torrey Pine's the longest one on tour. Solid all-around game, which you needed to win at like -9 last week. The guy makes pars like nobody's business. He is a par machine, and he's solid in tough conditions. Tell me every single one of those didn't fit exactly what happened last week. So some people are like, I just read that, and I'm like, this Harris English guy, grinder, him and his stupid Rope Hat, and they played him. And this is what DGens Notes are. These are just things that I've picked up over the years. These are just my opinion. Some of them are based in facts. Some of them are just based on me watching 9 years of a lot of Harris English, and these are the opinions I have. So to see people playing him simply because of the DGens Notes, these are one of the things it does. I love this. You can look up any player on tour well, there's like still 20 of them missing, but we'll have them added definitely by the players, okay? It's basically just once we figure out who's worth the time. So this is just another example of the DGens notes, which do not confuse with the DGens scorecard, which I'll also be pumping later. All right, this brings us to the DFS tip of the week. What is the DFS tip? All right, I got asked the greatest question the other day. Somebody said, how much do you use models in your making? Because I've noticed everybody in the PGA DFS industry is just becoming the model guy. Everybody's got a model, and somehow, even though everybody's making a model, they're all different. And they said, how long have you been using a model, and do you use it as much as you used to? And it was such a great question. I had to make it my DFS tip of the week. And I really went back, and I remember I've been playing DFS, this is my 10th year, and those first 4 or 5 years, I was what you would call a model hoe. I just loved it. The model was the truth. You don't mess with the truth. I love the model. You got to play the model. I would say literally over 50% of all my decision-making was based on a model. But as I've gotten older and wiser, I've played this more. I've become a more consistent winning long-term player. I have learned that models kind of suck. And I want to tell you a little bit of proof of why PGA DFS models suck. First of all, the places where they're getting their information are wholly unreliable. If all these different sites were getting the same information, well, then the model would be spitting out the same results. But they are getting different information. They are storing it different, and you're getting very, very watered down, shitty information from these models, right? Because I'm talking about the actual data they get in to then make their models, things they can't control, whatever the PGA is sending them. And they're paying good money for this data, and they still get shitty fucking data, right? So you got to be aware of where this data is coming in from, and is it even the same data across the board? And the answer is no, it's not. It's not very good data. And so now they're paying all this money for this data, and now they're making models based off of this information, right? And so you go make these models, and now the big part is the human element comes in. All of these people who make models are for sure they know how to make the perfect model. Okay, I need guys that hit the wedge 125 to 150. Well, okay, that accounts for probably 3 or 4 shots around, but is that really the most important thing? And let's say that is one of the most important things, and it does need to be in your model. How do we know that you are measuring the right amount of time? Are you measuring the last 36 rounds, the last 24 rounds? Are you looking at the last 2 years? How do we know that somebody's not just on a hot streak and all of that data you're using for their wedges from 125 to 150 is a bunch of fucking garbage? How do you know that? Right? And why does your 125 to 150 range look different than the other guy's model, even though you're using the same data? Explain this to me. And so what I've realized is that when you start using models, and especially when you compare it to other people's models, they're just not reliable. And that's why, like, over at Shipit, we basically have gotten rid of the models, and we don't really use them that much because they're usually just a bunch of noisy information to make you feel like you're getting good data, but you're really not. And even if you are getting good data, are you measuring that data correctly? Are you doing it over a long enough period of time? Are you doing it over recent? Okay, maybe you want to measure some stuff recently and some stuff long term. Is the data out there proper to do it? And the answer, by and large, is no. So for all of you that are spending your life like living off of these models and paying people for what their model says, just beware. Like it's like if you knew the real workings behind it, you would know how shitty it is. I'll just go ahead and click tabs and show you a perfect transition. All right, so here you go. Look, this is what I'm talking about. I don't even have a model up. I'm just showing you. By the way, that's the end of the DFS tip. This is just something to show you all the players that are playing, and to go ahead and finish this show up. All right. So let's see. 427 in here. We're gonna make a push. So first up, we know Scotty's going to be popular. Rory automatically is the guy getting squeezed up here. Rory and Iceberg are getting squeezed because we've already seen that Scheffler, Morikawa, Thomas are going to be popular. This is also why I think Decky's going to get squeezed because I know Cantlay is going to be popular. Seems like Burns, Fleetwood, I think Burns and Fleetwood become really good pivots because we've already talked about M and Day are going to get some love. Pretty sure that old Hovland and Connors both going to get squeezed because we've already talked about Jason Day, Sungjae M, Wyndham Clark are all going to get ownership. I've heard some people even talking up old Keegan Bradley, right? I think Will Zalatoris is interesting. Don't forget, a lot of these guys withdraw last week. They weren't withdrawing with injuries. There was a flu bug going around Torrey Pines. So I wouldn't freak out with some of these guys withdrawing last week. There's a big difference between my hip is broken, like Will Zalatoris, and I have the flu. Okay, so make sure if you're avoiding guys this week because they WD'd last week, make sure it's for the right reasons, right? Taylor Pendrith will be popular. Finau had his 6 kids, so for all of you that are for that baby swag, get over there on old Ronnie Reno. Okay, Matt McNeil's, I think he's going to be popular. Anybody else? Tom Kim, Grazerman, that seems like a really good price for them. They kind of seem like all or nothing guys. And then you get into the 7K range, and there's really, Cheesesteak Hoagie's going to be a little bit owned. Davis Thompson will be a little bit owned. Siwoo Kim will be a little bit owned. Denny McCarthy is shaping up to be donkey chalk. Watch out for that. If you think you're sneaky and you're going to get him, I think Eric Cole's going to push that 10%. Hubbard's going to be pushing 8. There's just some guys out there that I would watch. In a no-cut field, there's going to be some guys getting to that 8 to 10%, right? So there you go. That is a quick rundown of people out there. My sleeper this week, and this is something that is just one of those things that you would find in the DJ's notes. This guy is a dude that I like to play at club down courses, right? He's a guy that even though he drives the shit out of the ball, and he's always been known as a long driver, he's actually better when he plays at shorter distances. Put that driver away, get the 3-wood out, and he's been playing well. Yes, he did WD last week, but I'm not worried about him. My one sleeper this week is actually going to be old Gare Bear Woodland, and I am not a Gary Woodland guy, but Gary Woodland, been playing okay. I'm going with Gare Bear. Put the driver down, asshole, get the 3-wood out, and let's play some positional golf, make a couple putts, and let's see what happens with old Gare Bear Woodland. As far as the one guy I'm fading, well, there's so many guys. I think that the one guy that I'm the most nervous is going to end up being Donkey Chalk just because it's $6,200. You can make him so cheap. The one guy that I am definitely not playing down there is Lee Hodges. I'm sorry, $6,200 Lee Hodges. You want to die on that river, you go ahead.
Get the fuck out of here.
But for me, get the fuck out of here. Tell him, Paulie, we are not playing Lee Hodges, which brings us to the more important question. If I'm not playing Lee Hodges, well, then who is the one guy I'm playing? Well, the one guy I'm playing this week is, there's so many studs here. I could have just went with one of the studs, but this feels like a week to kind of avoid the studs and play a secondary guy, like a guy that's up and coming, one that we haven't seen much this year, one that I think is ready to come out and light the world on fire in 2025. I want to be early to his party and not late to his party. So because of that, I think that we need to just go. We need a video. We need a video. Who's the one guy I'm playing this week? Let's see. Rush Hour. Love Rush Hour. Great movie. Ooh, 446 viewers. 447. Number one podcast, our number one stream in PGA DFS. Man, I'm effing people up. I'm effing people up. Uh-oh. Give me that gun. Get off me, Jason Day, you hose sack. I need help. Get out of here, neckbeard. More flour. Effing some people up. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all didn't know I was so good at karate. Now you know. Oh shit, it's Akshay! Me and Akshay! We whooped y'all ass. Sit the hell down. That's right. Me and Akshay, we're going all the way. Let's go. Me and Akshay, Pebble Beach. Not to be confused with Rush Hour, which that was just totally Rush Hour. I saw that we creeped over 450 viewers, making us the most popular PGA DFS stream out there. Thank you guys for doing that. If there's somebody good, oh, by the way, some people run good. Ship It Nation. We run best. Okay, moving on. Hey, guys, check out another huge week over at Ship It. It's all about all these guys, all of our members, just like finding success at whatever level they play. I triple dare you to just go look at the PGA DFS streets, both at week long and at Showdown. We're unquestionably the kings of this little community, and we're just going to keep winning and giving people the process. And here's the best part: we're going to do it cheaper and more affordable than everybody else, because you should be spending your money on your contest and not your content. And of course, we have all of the best tools out there. We have DGen's scorecard, which is a great reference point. If you want a model, but you don't want all the bullshit, these are 2 years. We took this from 2 years, so you're getting reliable data, because all of this data is from 2 years ago, and then we've went and looked at their own baseline from the last 2 years. So you're getting consistent results, and we got this from a reliable source, and we're not updating it every week, getting shitty results from the PGA sending us shitty material. That is what makes DGen's scorecard different than a model, is all of the information is more like a reference guide that doesn't change. We will update it every so often, but this stuff stays so true. And this is how you get on guys like Harris English and stuff like that, is by using this. This is why I'm on Batia this week, because I looked at the scorecard and I liked it. And I was like, I like how he looks. Oh yeah, not to mention, we do have the best tool in all of PGA DFS called The Stone, which has everything you need right here, from ownership to what course they're playing, to their rotation, to their win equity, to their top 20, to their course fit ranking, event history, recent form, everything you need to know to make informed decisions. All of this is part of every everything we offer. And if you're wondering how much we charge, you can get the entire year cheaper than anybody out there. Make sure you use code SHIP50, and that's going to get you another $50 off what is already the cheapest PGA DFS package out there. I'm glad you guys are here. This gets you through the entire year. The entire year. I'm talking like all the way through to Christmas. Make sure to lock this in. These prices are probably going to go down once the Super Bowl's over. Lock it up now. All right, let's get over here. You guys have continued to make this the #1 stream in PGA DFS. This is for everybody who liked and retweeted over on Twitter. I think editor, what do you think? Should we do one from the chat? If the editor has anybody good from the chat, I'll do another $100 one from the chat. I appreciate all you guys being here, keeping it fun and lively. It looks like our winner for Twitter is ETS451. Simply reach out to me on Twitter. I know you're over there because you liked and retweeted my shit. All right. And from the crowd, let's see if the editor, he gave one too. Congratulations to Nip. All right. You might want to put a shirt on your Nips escaping. All right, there you go. There's our two winners. You reach out to me. There's Mike in the chat right there. Me and him won almost $700 the other day. I PayPal'd him his money. It's pretty fun when the big guy sends you a couple $1,000. Done it more than once. I'll do it again. Hey, guys, show was great tonight. I appreciate all of you being here. But please remember rule number 1. These weeks are awesome. We get to indulge in all this content. We get to listen to it. We get to make our player pools. We get to make our lineups. We get to sweat our lineups. We get to tilt our lineups. We get to be a part of a community. If you're over at Ship It, and we get to BS in our Discord, and at the end, we get to win or lose and get to have fun with it, and that's what really matters. Never take this shit for granted. Realize how awesome it is. I appreciate all of you being here. I will be here next week, hopefully not too sick from the chemo. I'll keep fighting. You keep being here. That's the news. I appreciate every single one of you being here. We'll talk to you later, you mother fathers. Enjoy this outro.
I'm so high.